Good morning, good morning. You guys did such a great job last week measuring with customary units. I got to see so many cool objects that you guys found around your house to measure either with your ruler, or I saw some measuring tapes and even some paper clips. So it was nice to see you guys using all your strategies to measure with a ruler in customary units. And that's what we use in the United States, but we're really actually one of only 3 countries that use customary as their main measuring source. Most countries use metric units. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week. So let's just review the difference real quick. Okay, so length is the distance from one point to the other. Last week we focused on customary, and we have the inch, and its abbreviation is IN. It's the length of one small paper clip, and I went ahead and drew out 1 inch here, and that's my wannabe paper clip. Then we had foot, which its abbreviation is FT, and it's the length of 1 ruler, or 12 inches, or 12 paper clips. Then we have a yard, which is YD for the abbreviation. It's the length of 3 rulers, or 36 inches, or 3 feet, or 36 paper clips. We use customary here, and that's why we focused on it first. But most countries use metric, and that's the millimeter. Its abbreviation is MM, and it's about as thick as 6 sheets of notebook paper, so pretty tiny. And then we have the centimeter. Its abbreviation is CM. It's the width of your pinky finger, so just the width of your pinky finger. And then we have the meter. Its abbreviation is M, and it's about the height of a chair. Okay, I have my ruler here. Last week we focused on inches, which you will see on this side. This week we're doing centimeters, which is on this side. So some of y'all may have noticed that last week whenever you were measuring things that there are 2 different units on a ruler. That's why it's important to make sure that you are on the right unit and that you put that behind all of your measurements. So if you're measuring in inches, you want to say like your object is 8 inches, or 8 IN, period. And if you're measuring in centimeters, you want to be on this side, and you need to make sure that you write my object is 8 centimeters, or 8 cm, period. So let's practice a few in centimeters. I have this little dog bone. We'll do this one first. So step 1 is to line up your object right next to the ruler. Step 2 is back it up all the way to the 0. And you're going to start from one end to the other. We're not going to get into all the little millimeters. We're just going to focus on the centimeters, so round to the nearest centimeter. So this dog treat is about, I would say, 4 centimeters, because it's closer to the 4 than the 5. So 4 centimeters, or 4 cm. Then I have this little trumpet here. When your object has all these different shapes, you just want to go from one end to the other. So pick the longest end to measure. You don't want to measure this side, you want to go from the longest. So back up your trumpet to 0, and then go all the way to the end, and this one is closer to the 14 than the 13, so I would say this is 14 centimeters long, or 14 cm. Let's do one more. I have this pencil. So step 1, line up your object with the ruler. Step 2, back it up to the 0. You start all your races on the 0, and then measure it all the way down to the end. And it's closer to the 19 than the 18, so I would say this is 19 centimeters long, or 19 cm. So now you guys are good to go and measure with both sides of your ruler, because last week we did customary units, because that's what we use here in the United States, and you use your inches. And this week we're going to focus on metric, because that's what most countries use, and you'll be measuring to the nearest centimeter. So don't worry about the millimeter. just focus on nearest centimeter. And if you don't have a ruler, I have provided a link for a ruler. And you can also remember use the width of your pinky, because that is about a centimeter too. And your activity this week, your first one is going to be estimating if you're going to use centimeters or meters. So when you're estimating, just like last week, the smaller the object, the smaller the unit. So if I was going to measure something like this toy car, I would measure that in centimeters because it's smaller. Then if I was going to actually measure the length of my real car, I would pick meters because that's bigger. So your attendance check question for this week is, what would you measure this little teddy bear with, centimeters or meters? So you can upload a video of your response, or you can use the T tool and type in your answer. So centimeters or meters, what would you measure this little bear with? Y'all have a great week, and if you have any questions, just message me on Seesaw. Bye.